All right, so Workplace 20, again, this is the third part of 6.3. And we're going to talk about a couple new things today. The first one is something called a down payment. So you see this on your book right here, down payment. So if you're buying a house or you're buying something large, sometimes you want to pay as much as you can and only borrow a little bit. And that's always a good idea because the more you borrow, the more interest you're going to pay. So a down payment is a partial payment. And for things such as a house and things like that, if you're buying big things, it's actually required. And it's a certain percentage of the total value that you need to pay first before they'll lend you the rest. So sometimes store promotions offer purchases without a down payment. And they give you a little bit of time to pay things off with no penalty and with no money down. But if you don't pay it off within that amount of time, you usually get paid a lot. You get charged a lot of interest. So these store promotions can be a little bit tricky. So please make sure you understand all the details of a promotion before you sign up. So we kind of did an example already here, and this was question number 6 from Build Your Skills. So we just went through that on how to find simple interest for R. So if you're working on number 6, you're watching this video, just pause it right here and you can see the work that we did in class. But I am going to do number 7 with you as well, so we'll do number 7 together. So let's take a look at that. And number 7 says this. A store offers a bike for $689.98. You want to purchase it, but you can't pay cash. Your payment options are as follows. All right. Option number 1, 10% down payment. So that's 10% of this original amount you have to pay in cash. And then 6 months monthly payments of this much left, okay, of this much, $115 every month for 6 months. The option number 2 is no down payment and 24 monthly payments of $35. Oh, $35, that's pretty easy to do, right? Got a little bit of a job, you can put $35 a month away, that's no problem. That might be a good option. Well, you got to be careful with that now because you might be paying a lot of interest, right? Option number 3, pay using a cash advance. We learned about that last lesson on your credit card. And that's just basically your credit card giving you some money, right? Instead of you using a credit card to pay something, you get cash. You would be charged interest at an annual rate of 20.95%. That's pretty high. And you expect that it will take you 20 days to pay the credit card balance. So which payment plan offers the better deal? So we're going to take a look at each of these 3. Okay, so let's do the first one first. So I'll do the first one kind of over here. Option 1. 10% down. Okay, so let's find out what 10% is of 689. So 689.98 times 0.10, right? That's 10%. And we could have just moved the decimal place over one spot, okay? If you remember that kind of thing, that's cool too. So 68.99, or really it's 60. We got to round that to $69, don't we? So $69 is what we owe for a down payment, okay? And then, so we owe that much, and then we add to that 6 payments of $115. So how much is that going to be? Well, let's see. We got this much plus 6 times 115. And that's 759. Okay, so that's 759 even. Okay, we'll round that to the nearest, or again, nearest cent. Okay, so everyone understand how we did that for option 1 there? Any questions about that? You good? Okay. All right, option number 2. Let's take a look at option number 2. And option number 2 says, okay, so option number 2 says no down payment. We simply have 24 payments of $35. So what does that equal? And you guys go ahead and do that on your calculator. So what do you get there? Right on, $840. Okay, so already we can see that option number 2 is not as good as option number 1, right? Now, you have to pay a lot more money for option number 1 every month, but you save on the interest fees, don't you? So it's like 80 bucks almost that you can save. So this 35 bucks looks pretty good, but you're actually making 2 extra payments. You're paying that 2 more times than you need to if you would have paid the other way. So let's take a look at option 3. Now this is where we have to use the skills we learned last lesson, and we have to use our credit card skills, right? So you use a cash advance. The interest is 20% per year, and you expect that it'll be 20 days to pay the credit card balance. Okay, so we're going to use this full amount here, the $689. So option number 3, we're going to use $689.98. Okay, and we are going to have to multiply this by the decimal form of this percent. That's per year, and 20 days is a fraction of a year. So we aren't going to pay that for the full year. We're going to pay that for 20 out of 365 days, or 20 3/65ths of a year. Make sense? Okay. So what do we get there? The amount of interest paid is, and that's really what this is, it's simple interest. All right, and what do you get for an answer there, anybody?
I got 8.0.
I don't think it's 8. I think it's 7 something.
Or 7.9.
You got 7 point what?
9.
Let's just give it a test here, okay? So 689.98 times 0.2095 times, and I'll use my little bracket function here to go 20 over 365. Okay. 792. That makes sense?
698.
You put 698. Yeah, got those numbers. Okay. So 7, what did I say? 92. Okay, 792. So then the total cost will be, right, the total cost, I think we call that A, is 698. No, I just did what you did. 689.98 plus 792. And that's going to equal 697.90. Okay. Now, which one's the better deal? So which one costs the least?
Option 3.
Option number 3 does. Okay. Now, obviously, there are 4 options here. There are 4 options, actually. The first one is to pay it off in cash. Now, that's not an option because it says you can't pay it in cash. But if you wanted to pay the least amount of interest, you would pay it all off in cash, right? So remember what I said. If you can, take the time to save up some money and pay for things in cash. In the long run, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. You're going to be able to buy better things, right? So try and do that, but you just might have to wait a little longer. If you want to take option 1, okay, what would the benefits of option 1 be?
You pay a little bit then, so you save up.
Okay, so you pay a little bit down, right? And you pay a little bit down, and then you don't spend a whole lot of money on interest, and you're still taking 6 months to pay it off, right? And so maybe that's a better deal because, yeah, you've saved up a bit, you don't have to borrow as much. You have a job that you can pay these payments, and that's going to be easier for you because you need the bike now, right? Okay, so option 2, what's good about option 2 and bad about option 2?
No down payment.
Good is no down payment. Okay, let's have somebody else answer now. I appreciate your answers. Somebody else answer. Another good thing or a bad thing about option number 2, yeah?
Yeah, the good thing is that there's no down payment, and then the bad thing is that if you add up the $35 that you paid
Yeah.
for 24 months, it's more.
Yeah, the good thing is the down payment, no down payment, right? And the bad thing is that this is cost the most. There's the most interest is tied into this one. What's another good thing about option 2, though? And I'm kind of looking right about here, guys. I'm looking at this right here. Okay, this is a big plus to this. It's bad because you're paying a lot of interest, but $35 a month. If you've got a job, you might not even notice that, like at all, right?
Yeah, that's a cheap monthly payment.
It's a very cheap monthly payment. So these are things that you guys have to think about, right? Sometimes in some situations you may say, listen, I need a bike to get to work. I need it to be a good bike because I'm going to be driving it almost every day to work. And I need it now because I'm working now. And so you might look at these options and say, can I afford $115? Ooh, that's going to be a big chunk. I'm going to have to sacrifice in other areas. Can I afford $35? Eesh. In the long run, I'm going to end up paying, $150 more, $150 more, but I'm probably not even going to notice that money coming out of my account. Right? So these are decisions you have to make. And but as long as you understand sort of the costs associated with it. So that's how we want to examine every kind of deal that comes our way. Okay, good job on that one, and I hope you understand how to calculate the stuff and how to think critically about what you might decide to do in the future. Okay? Good?